Now, call me bold, but I truly believe that today, right here in San Francisco, we're witnessing a historic moment of our own. The issuance of a mayoral proclamation designating July 18th to August 17th as the South Asian American Heritage Month might seem like a small step, but for the South Asian American community in this city, it is a giant leap. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kudrat Dutta Kontilis, and I have the honor of serving as the Vice Chair of the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission, and I'm the first South Asian to be appointed to the Commission. But tonight, I'm not speaking in that official capacity. I'm speaking as an Indian who spent 24 years growing up in India, as an immigrant who moved to San Francisco in 2019 for work, and as a proud member of the South Asian diaspora who calls San Francisco home, just like all of you. For the first time, the City and County of San Francisco has entered and will be entering into its official records, both executive and legislative, a simple but powerful truth. We exist, we contribute, and we matter. This proclamation serves as a tribute to the generations who came before us, who carved space for our presence through resilience and determination. You may be surprised to learn that South Asians have been a part of San Francisco's history for over a century. Like in 1913, the Gadda Party was born right here in San Francisco to fight against British colonialism in the Indian subcontinent. And just 4 years later, the 1917 U.S. Immigration Act explicitly barred South Asians from entering the country. Then, 9/11 happened, and South Asians, particularly South Asian men and boys, became targets of suspicion, surveillance, and hate. Still, we persisted, organizing and resisting and helping shape San Francisco's legacy of advocacy and justice. On the cultural front, in the 1960s, during the countercultural revolution, South Asian ideas and aesthetics found resonance in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, remnants of which remain even till today. And for decades since, we've woven ourselves into the fabric of San Francisco. We've brought yoga into daily life, turned chai, not chai tea, into cafe culture, introduced chicken tikka masala, kavalis, henna, bhangra, and momos into the city's rhythm. Today, we're everywhere in San Francisco as activists, entrepreneurs, elected officials, doctors, engineers, lawyers, artists, and change makers like all of you here today. So today is a good reminder that the South Asian presence in San Francisco has never been monolithic. It's just as vibrant and dynamic as the subcontinent itself. Furthermore, apart from paying an homage to our previous generations, today's proclamation serves as a promise to the generations ahead that they'll grow up in a San Francisco where they're seen and not just celebrated and just heard. This recognition did not appear out of thin air. It started with a question. And I want to share very quickly how that came up to be. I was going through photos of different Heritage Month celebrations on Instagram and thought, wouldn't it be great if we had something like this for South Asians too? I figured maybe something was already in place, and I just did not know about it because I moved here in 2019. So I Googled, nothing. I searched again, still nothing. Then I thought, okay, maybe if not San Francisco, but surely another city has done it. That's when I realized, if this month were to be officially designated, San Francisco would become the first major city and only third overall in the United States to do it. And once again, we had a chance to lead the way for this country. So I drafted a request for a proclamation and immediately reached out to Supervisor Bilal Mahmood and said, you and I are the first in our roles, and we need to make sure that the South Asian American Heritage Month goes official. We need to make sure that this happens. And without hesitation, he replied, let's do it. Next thing I know, I was sitting in Supervisor Mahmood's office with the mayor's office discussing next steps to make the resolution and the proclamation happen. So today, I want to take a moment and give a heartfelt thank you to Mayor Daniel Lowry and to Supervisor Bilal Mahmood, who embraced this idea with open arms. I witnessed firsthand what can happen when political will, representation, community action, and executive leadership come together. And I can tell you, it's extraordinary. So today is a reminder for all of us that we belong right here in San Francisco. And let this be the first of many more chapters where we, as a South Asian community, continue to show up together to claim space, build legacy, and celebrate loudly, proudly, and unapologetically. Thank you. Now, it is my privilege to introduce a leader whose dedication to San Francisco runs deep. A native son of this city, he has spent his career working to uplift those most in need, from founding Tipping Point to now guiding our city with a vision rooted in equity, accountability, and compassion. As mayor, he has shown a genuine commitment to listening, building bridges, and celebrating the vibrant diversity that San Francisco is defined by. His support for the South Asian American Heritage Month proclamation is a powerful reminder that inclusion and representation are not just symbolic gestures, they are core values of his administration. Please join me in welcoming the 46th Mayor of San Francisco, Mayor Daniel Lurie.
It's an honor to be with you all to officially celebrate South Asian American Heritage Month. Members of the South Asian community have long shaped San Francisco, so it is my pleasure as mayor to welcome you all to City Hall to celebrate this special occasion. Across the city and in every neighborhood, businesses and organizations proudly represent your cultures, like Beanie's Kitchen in Soma and Chopra on Fillmore. Organizations like part of our Bay Area, the nation's first trans-led South Asian group, and Tricone, founded in 1986 as one of the oldest LGBTQ plus South Asian organizations in the world. You all continue to push us forward. These groups carry on San Francisco's legacy of progress. They remind us that advocacy and representation matter. Through the work of the South Asian American community, we are reminded that progress is possible, though there is still more work to be done. My administration will continue working to make San Francisco a city that works for everyone, for families, for children, and for future generations. We passed Permit SF legislation to make it easier for small business owners. With our family zoning proposal, we're building a city that supports multi-generational living, and we'll keep creating opportunities every single day. San Francisco has always been an international city, with immigrants from these countries being part of our story and identity for generations. We wouldn't be who we are without the people who came here seeking opportunity and created opportunities for so many others. That's why my administration remains committed to supporting our immigrant community. Even in a tough budget year when we faced difficult decisions, I made the choice to protect immigrant legal defense. Because in San Francisco, we support the people who make this city home. As we honor South Asian American heritage, we also look forward. The next generation deserves a San Francisco where they can build their lives close to the people who raised them. We want our kids to grow up with opportunity, schools that serve them, jobs that keep them here, and communities that make them feel seen. We're building a stronger San Francisco, but we cannot do it alone. We need your voices, your leadership, and your ideas. I want to thank you, Kudrat, for the first South Asian appointed to the Immigrant Rights Commission, for bringing us together today. Thank you for your leadership. I also want to thank Supervisor Bilal Mahmood for your leadership as the first South Asian person elected to the Board of Supervisors. And Manu, our public defender, thank you for what you do for our community every single day. So So today, I am proud to proclaim this South Asian American Heritage Month in the city and county of San Francisco. Chair, both, all three of you, come on up. Dean, Chair. All right, good? Got it? Good. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mayor Lori, for supporting the South Asian community of San Francisco and for making today possible. That just gave me goosebumps. The South Asian community is very grateful to you. Now, it is my honor to introduce a history maker whose leadership reflects the spirit of today's celebration. The son of Pakistani immigrants, Supervisor Mahmood is the first Muslim American and the first South Asian ever elected to San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Drawn to the Tenderloin's rich diversity, vibrant culture, and bold sense of community, he made District 5 his home and has since championed a vision of a safer, cleaner, and more inclusive San Francisco for all. Please join me in welcoming Supervisor Mahmood, a trailblazer for the South Asian diaspora and a powerful voice for equity in our city.
Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. I'm proud to be with you here in recognition of South Asian American Heritage Month and recognizing the amazing contributions of our residents that have roots from all over the world, from Afghanistan to Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan, where my own family immigrated from as well. As the son of Pakistani immigrants, the celebration is deeply meaningful. My family immigrated here nearly 40 years ago, and they were not many of us at that time. But growing up, there was one spot in the entire Bay Area that whether you were Indian, Pakistani, you could agree on one thing: Shalimar and the Tenderloin was the place to go. Through their flavorful masala, smell of tandoori, or tearing a piece of their crispy, probably too crispy, I prefer soft naan, between our fingertips, my family felt the warm embrace of a community that was at the center of San Francisco. The Tenderloin and the district that I represent has always been a hub for immigrants and refugees seeking a better life, to provide that path to upward mobility and the American dream, and it will always remain so. I now live just a block from Shalimar, where I've decided to lay down my roots. And every day I pass by it, I am reminded of that American dream and that dream that so many of us came here to do. But I'm also reminded about the big pickle and the big question on every South Asian member's mind is, are you Team Chutney? Are you Team Pakwan? Or are you Team Shalimar? I thought we'd settle that debate tonight. Raise your hand if you're Team Chutney. All the non-South Asians. Who's Team Pakwan? Who's Team Shalimar? Seems like a tie between Pakwan and Shalimar, so we'll leave it at that. Tiebreaker. But in all seriousness, we've come a long way. And it's important to recognize that our South Asian communities do continue to face challenges. From xenophobia, anti-Sikh, anti-Hindu discrimination, Islamophobia, and broad racist sentiments, our communities have time and time again proven resilient, showing that through perseverance and pride in our identity, we can rise above and grow stronger. San Francisco has always been a beacon of hope and of opportunity, a home for us all, no matter our background. So I want to thank Kudrat Dutta Chaudhry, not only for emceeing today, but for me teaching everyone how to pronounce your name in City Hall, putting in your diligent work with my office to bring this recognition to fruition. There are few cities in the nation that recognize and uplift our South Asian American communities. And thanks to her partnership, we've added San Francisco to that short list. Let's give her a round of applause. I'd also like to thank Mayor Lurie for recognizing today's proclamation as well. And Angelina, is she somewhere here? Somewhere in the back. Hardest working member of the mayor's team, I would say, in District 5, representing. So thank you all for what you do as well in making this event possible. And it's an honor to be with you all, and I hope you'll join me in recognizing South Asian Heritage Month and celebrating the contributions, visibility, lived experiences of our South Asian residents across the city. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Supervisor, for being a true leader and an advocate for all of us. We're so grateful to you and your team. Now, I'm proud to introduce to all of you Mano Rajo, who is the elected public defender of San Francisco and the only elected public defender in California. A son of immigrants from India who were able to come to the U.S. thanks in part to advances made by the American civil rights movement, his pursuit of justice is rooted in his acute awareness of social inequities. Mano earned his master's degree in South Asian Studies before going on to earn his law degree, both at UC Berkeley. Due to his formidable trial practice in the courtroom, his predecessor, Jeff Adachi, promoted him to Director of Training and then Manager of the Felony Unit. Public Defender Raju has lectured statewide and nationally on various aspects of complex trial practice and also on leadership practices. Among his many professional honors, he was awarded the North America South Asian Bar Association's Public Interest Achievement Award in 2019. Mano is deeply committed to a client and community-centered approach to defense work and continues to uphold the reputation of the San Francisco Public Defender's Office, not only as a formidable group of legal advocates who also provide holistic services, but also as a catalyst for much-needed systems evolution in local and statewide arenas. Public Defender, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Kudra, and thank you, Mayor and Supervisor, for the invitation to speak today. Happy South Asian Heritage Month to all of you. The mere fact that we have a month that's recognizing descendants from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives collaboratively, that itself is a huge accomplishment, that we're not being narrow and just dividing ourselves by countries, right? You can clap for that. When I think about the iftars in the Tenderloin or Bhangra beads, Deepavali celebrations, mindfulness practices, all the amazing restaurants, it is really special to see how we're shaping the fabric of the Bay Area. The theme of South Asian Heritage Month this year is roots and routes. My most immediate roots came from my parents who immigrated from a small farming village in South India. My father was the first in our family to graduate from high school. The reason he was able to do that was there was a village elder who saw his potential and encouraged my grandparents to allow my father to leave the village and pursue further education. And it was the 1965 Immigration Act, which was a response to Black-led civil rights movements in this country, that enabled him to come to this country and pursue higher education. And in fact, we have Anirban Chatterjee here in Bernali who's responsible for generating a lot of that history for us. Another route for many of us is right here in San Francisco, as was mentioned earlier, where in 1913, the Ghadar Party was formed. This is a group of immigrants who were Hindus, who were Muslims, who were Sikhs, who came together to help fight for independence from the British on the subcontinent. Without that party, all of our histories may have been very different. At the Public Defender's Office, we honor such collaborative efforts for justice, while at the same time, our core values stem from truly seeing the potential of all the individuals that we represent. Just as my father needed that village elder to truly see his potential in order for him to advance in life. Whether our clients are born in the United States or in other countries, our vision, explicit vision, if you look at our mission statement, is one where collective humanity is cherished. So I'm proud on this day to honor not just the huge intellectual, spiritual, political, technological, social contributions that South Asians have made to our collective humanity, but also the beautiful families and individuals who had that courage to cross oceans to make this a new home that we can all make beautiful contributions to. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all your work in leadership, Public Defender Raju. Your representation and legacy go a long way for the South Asians and San Francisco as a whole. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce a champion for equity, education, and community. Aliya Chishti is a proud daughter of Pakistani immigrants and a lifelong San Franciscan whose roots run deep in the city she serves. As director of the Free College Program with the San Francisco Office of Economic and Workforce Development, Aliya has worked to make higher education accessible to all, ensuring that opportunity is not a privilege, but a right. A passionate advocate for working families and immigrants, she brings heart, brilliance, and lived experience to every space she enters. Please join me in welcoming Aliya Chishti, a proud South Asian American and a force of change in San Francisco.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I was a little late. I was operating on Indian Standard Time, so I made it. So thank you so much, Supervisor Mahmood, for organizing this event. Kudrat, thank you for putting this together. Mayor Lurie, good to see you. Thank you so much for honoring so much inclusivity. My name is Aliya Chishti. I was born and raised in San Francisco, and as a result, my relationship with my South Asian identity has always been very complex. I remember being really embarrassed eating roti, which is like a bread, during lunch, and then when my mom would pick me up in her salwar kameez Indian outfit at school, and I just wanted to hide. It took me years to feel proud of my South Asian roots. It actually wasn't until college, and I remember I was taking a history class, and I remember my professor saying, "Do you know the origins of your last name, Chishti?" And I think my parents had probably told me about it, but I ignored them. And so he told me that Chishti is from centuries-old Sufi lineage, and they encompass ideas rooted in compassion. And that was the beginning of the shift from my shame to pride. I never knew my grandparents, but I carry their story. They grew up in colonized India under British rule when being South Asian meant being viewed as uncivilized. I learned that my mother, the same person that I was so embarrassed about, she could read and write beautiful Urdu poetry. And that my mom also once worked for Subhadra Joshi, a freedom fighter who stood for civil rights in post-independence India. I began to realize that my story was just one thread in a much larger tapestry of resistance and resilience. There have always been stories of South Asian resistance in America. We've heard about the Ghadar Party. The Sikh farmers built California's agricultural backbone. 1923, Bhagat Singh Thind case reminded us the racial barrier shaped in belonging and exclusion. Decades later, after 9/11, our communities were once again placed under suspicion. Islamophobia reshaped how South Asian and Muslim Americans were seen through the lens of fear. So when I ran in 2020, it wasn't just a personal milestone. It was a community moment. And let me tell you about the aunties, the Indian aunties. They had a campaign of their own. They circulated my campaign site, not just to get me votes, but to also get me married. So there was that. They weren't successful, just saying. So to be here now as an Indian Muslim woman elected to the City College Board of Trustees isn't just personal, it's generational. South Asians are beautifully diverse across faiths, languages, regions, and generations. And yes, we love our turmeric, our tikka masala, our henna. We love pani puri, yoga, naan bread, mango lassi, and chai tea. And yes, we eat with our hands with pride. We see you, Zoran. And we also love Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah. And we love Shah Rukh Khan. If y'all watch any Hindi movies, we love him. He's huge. So South Asians are growing united in our pursuit of justice and collective power. Today isn't about celebrating where we come from. It's about shaping where we're going. And we're doing that with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aliyah, for your profound words and for fighting for accessibility and justice for all. That was very heartfelt. Now it is my honor to introduce a visionary whose journey embodies the spirit of San Francisco, Anjali Rimi. A South Asian Kinnar transgender immigrant, Anjali arrived in 2003 as a stateless newcomer. Today, she stands as the city's first South Asian transgender civil service officer and the co-founder of Parivar Bay Area, the nation's first South Asian trans-led Hijra Kinnar organization. Her presence around this city, often in a sari or salwar, is a familiar and powerful reminder of resilience, community, and unapologetic authenticity. Please welcome the unstoppable Anjali Rimi.
Hello, namaste, salam. I am really pinching myself. This moment is happening. Wow. Thank you, Mayor Lori. Thank you, Supervisor Mahmood. I knew when we had the first South Asian supervisor in this town hall, in this chamber, that you were going to bring us all along, because that's what we South Asians do. And thank you, Commissioner Kudrat Chaudhry. It is such an honor to be here in this historic moment. I am just trying to make sure this dream is my reality, happening at San Francisco's very first South Asian Heritage Month. And that means everything. That means everything in the sanctuary city that we call home, not just for our professions, but for our culture, our resilience, and our brilliance. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Karachi to Kolkata, from Kabul to Colombo, from Port of Spain to Suva, we're global. We are South Asians. We are home right here, and we're finally proud to call ourselves San Francisco South Asians today and every day from here on. Three years ago today, I was attacked. I was dragged. But did I live in that pain? No. I turned that trauma into triumph. Because that is what we do as South Asians. That is what I do as a South Asian woman. In my sari, in my truth, I stand here not in my pain, but in power, not hidden like none of South Asians, not surviving but leading, and all of us thriving together. I co-founded Parivar Bay Area along with amazing folks who are in this room who have contributed to making it historic. Parivar means family, because every South Asian knows that we deserve to belong, and especially when we are told we don't belong. So from being unhoused on these very streets and being fed by leftovers from restaurants like Shalimar, to now working as the equity officer at the Department of Homelessness. Apologies for being late. I had a meeting running over. I know that we can uplift each other. I know that San Francisco doesn't just shelter us. It gives us home, it gives us a chance, and it serves us to do much more for all of us as South Asians. We have an opportunity. So let us all celebrate the community, the artists, the aunties, like my mother, a 71-year-old proud South Asian San Franciscan elder, my father, who's an 83-year-old proud San Franciscan South Asian, the asylum seekers, the queer, the trans, the disabled, the Dalit. The most importantly, I want to really uplift my queer, trans, Hijra, Kinnar, Kwajasara, Tirunangai, and the trans masculine South Asians, because we are and we were part of the South Asian diaspora always. And this city must see us and protect us because this is where we come to be protected. So to every South Asian family out there, to every member of the city, please celebrate, please welcome your queer trans loved ones. To every South Asian parent, welcome your child back home. They need you. Let them not forget the culture. That's the heart of our heritage, our radical welcoming, the inclusion and family bonds. San Francisco gave me the space to build a life and now a legacy. If a door opened for someone like me at the lowest denominator of society, it can for every San Franciscan from here on. So I hope for many more celebrations of South Asian intersectional journeys, beginning with me marrying my husband all over when he gets to the United States of America, right here in the City Hall. Thank you. Happy South Asian Heritage Month. Jai Bhavani.
Thank you so much, Anjali, for standing in your truth, for standing in your power, and in your beautiful sari. I'd now like to introduce all of you to a powerhouse organizer whose work lives at the intersection of justice and civic engagement. Nadia Rahman is a proud daughter of Punjabi immigrants who has spent the last 8 years building community and driving change right here in San Francisco. Whether serving on the boards of San Francisco Women Political Committee, the SF Marin Food Bank, or YIMBY Action, Nadia brings a deep commitment to a more just and inclusive city. More recently, she's used her voice to stand in solidarity with Muslim and Arab communities and advocate unapologetically for Palestinian human rights. Nadia's cross-functional work and expertise, along with a willingness to collaborate and lead, is a great reminder to all of us that showing up for our communities is a lifelong practice. Please join me in welcoming Nadia Rahman, organizer, activist, and a powerful reflection of what South Asian American leadership looks like.
Hello, everyone. Salam and namaste. It is so wonderful to be here in community with you all today. A couple of weekends ago, I went on a South Asian radical history walking tour through the mission with activist historians Barnali Ghosh and Arnivarn Chatterjee, who are seated right here. Can you guys put your hands up? Woo! Let's give them a round of applause. I learned a lot on this tour and highly recommend it to everyone in this room. So once the ceremony wraps, please go and talk to them. I learned about the solidarity between the Gujarati and the Japanese communities during World War II when the US government turned on its own citizens. I learned about how a revolutionary anti-colonial movement, the Hindustan Ghadar Party, which I love that it's been mentioned multiple times today, focused on liberating South Asia from British rule in the early 1900s, organized right here in San Francisco. And I learned about Chakone, a nonprofit representing LGBTQIA+ people of South Asian descent, the oldest group of its kind in the world, which was founded right here in San Francisco in 1986. There were many more stories, but I am sharing these three with you here today because of the themes that they represent: solidarity, struggle, and the belief in pursuing a cause that is greater than oneself. Societal themes that are more important than ever here today. We come from a mosaic of cultures that represents one of the most beautiful and diverse places on earth. We come from an inheritance of pain and survival rooted in the British Raj, whether that was a result of the indentured labor system, the partition of Pakistan and India, the resulting wars and civil unrest, or other ongoing consequences of colonialism. We have always been a people who have fought for their rights and for freedom. And it's been that solidarity within our own community and with other communities that we have both sought justice and achieved success. In this moment, as our neighbors face people in masks who are abducting them from their homes from their doctor's appointments, from their immigration hearings, as the federal government attempts to erase the trans community, and as our tax dollars continue to fund and arm genocide in Gaza. It is more important now than ever that we remember the legacy of our ancestors, our inheritance of it, and what that looks like in practice here in San Francisco. For some of us, that may be public service to authentically embody that representation rather than an assimilated one. For others, it may be starting a business that prioritizes impact and workers over solely profit. At minimum, it means speaking up for others who do not have the privilege to do so themselves. Thank you, and happy South Asian Heritage Month.
Thank you so much, Nadia. You continue to inspire all of us. Today has been historic, and I can't say that or stress that enough. So to Mayor Lurie, Supervisor Mahmood, our speakers, and every single one of you here today, thank you for the work that you're doing every single day to uplift our communities. I'd also like to thank, and a big shout out to Jessica, Will, and Angelina for all the hard work to make sure that today was possible. Whether it's through advocacy, art, organizing, or simply showing up, all of you are shaping a more inclusive San Francisco every single day. This proclamation is just one step forward, and it wouldn't have been possible without all of you. So let's come together and let's continue to keep building. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today, and happy South Asian American Heritage Month to all of you.